and this is my review for Transformers Revenge of the Fallen Walmart exclusive Scout Class Trenchmouth. Trenchmouth comes in a 2-pack called the Windy City Chase, along with Revenge of the Fallen Slapdash, who I've already reviewed. He's a repaint of the Revenge of the Fallen Knockout mold, which I have to say, this is my first time with any experience with the Knockout mold, but I have to say, it is a fairly nice mold. I really do like the mold, and I'll definitely be picking up a couple of repaints that they did of it, namely Revenge of the Fallen Reverb, the Hunt for the Decepticons repaint that they did of it. It's a very nice mold, and overall a very nice figure. I'll get that right out of the way. I really like this figure. Anyway, like I said, he's a repaint of the Knockout mold. He's done up in red and kind of a dark brown color. I'm assuming it's supposed to homage a GoBot, seeing as that would make sense, given that the last 2-pack had a G1-inspired homage and a GoBot-inspired homage. So I'm assuming that this guy's meant to be painted up to resemble some GoBot from the 80s. I might be wrong. Let me know in the comments. Anyway, not a whole lot to say about him. It is a very nice motorcycle mold. Probably the best that we got out of the Revenge of the Fallen movie line. Granted, I do really like the Revenge of the Fallen Bike Sisters that we got, but this guy I just think is overall a very nice figure. Much better than the Bike Twins, for sure. Or Bike Triplets, I guess. We never really got a third mold for the third Bike Sister, but whatever. Anyway, it's a very nice vehicle mode. I really like it. Not a whole lot to say about in terms of features. It does roll along fairly well, which is nice. I'm not really sure why that's important with a bike form, but apparently it is to some people, so fear not, it does roll fairly well. His front wheel also does turn, kind of just due to transformation, but still it does turn, which I think is kind of neat. It is also kind of noteworthy that this guy does not come with a kickstand. He's one of the very few Transformers that turn into bikes that does not come with a kickstand. But what's really neat is just to how everything folds up. He really doesn't need it. He can stand perfectly well on his own, which I think is really cool. I'm not really sure why, but to me that just is really cool. And that's about it for vehicle mode. Transformation on this guy is pretty easy. Getting him back into vehicle mode can be a little bit hard. And again, it's not really just due to the transformation. It's like with Slapdash, where just everything's really finicky, which is a bit of a shame, and it really is my only overall complaint about the figure. But, oh well. Anyway, on to transformation. What you want to do is you want to take these side panels, and you want to kind of lift them off to the side like so. They do like to pop off. They'll probably pop off at some point during this review. Just as a forewarning. Anyway, yeah, they do really like to pop off. But anyway, now you want to get them off to the side and then flip these pieces down. These will form his legs. Then what you want to do is you want to go up here and you want to split this whole back assembly. Like so. It can be a little bit difficult to do. Bring it up about halfway and then stop. You'll see why in a minute. Go ahead and flip out the heels on his feet. Do the same on this side. He does kind of have insect-like feet. He's got very thin lower legs, which I think is kind of neat looking. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and reattach this piece. Like so. It can be a little bit tricky. There we go. And then you can pretty much do whatever you want with them. I usually just go ahead and rotate them up, because I think it makes it look like he's got some kind of leg armor, which is kind of neat. But anyway, I think what you want to do is you want to split this whole front piece. You want to rotate it around and rotate it down until it's flush up against his chest, like so. Then you can see his head, and I really do like his head sculpt. I think it's a really neat looking little head sculpt. It reminds me kind of the Space Pirates from the Metroid series, and I'm not really sure why. It might just be the antenna kind of crest-like thing that he has up here. It also is kind of noteworthy, and it's really hard to see on camera. But I'm not really sure if this was just a quality control thing or if it's on all of them. But one eye is slightly bigger than the other, which to me is really cool. I know it might bother some people, but to me that is really cool. I really like that he has one eye that's bigger than the other. It just makes him look really evil, which I think is kind of neat. But anyway, then what you want to do is you want to take these gray pieces and you want to bring them up. There's a tab system right here, a tab and slot that'll lock them into place, like so. Then rotate his arms around, like so. The same on this side. He does sadly only have, if I can get this, there we go. He does sadly only have one regular fist. The other side is just kind of a Mega Man-esque weapon hand, which I guess is kind of cool. I still would have liked the option, maybe to have a flip-out fist or something. It's not too terribly bad, but I still would have liked the option to have him have 2 fists. But anyway, then you want to take this gray waist piece, you want to push it up, and that'll lock his waist into place. And then just get him to stand like so. With this back wheel, you can leave it like it is. I usually go ahead and just rotate it so it stays flat against his back. Then with these pieces, they're on ball joints, so you can do pretty much whatever you want with them. I usually just rotate them off to the side and down just to hide them a little, and I think that looks best. But it is all up to personal preference. You can do whatever you want with them. And there you have Trenchmouth in robot mode. And very, very cool. I like his kind of insect profile with the very thin limbs and the kind of insect-like head. I think it's a very, very neat looking profile. And again, I think that this was definitely the best bike figure that we got out of Revenge of the Fallen. Again, I still like the Bike Sisters, but I think that this guy just beats him by a long shot. Very, very cool. For posability, he's got a lot more than Slapdash, which is very nice. If you're gonna buy one of these figures based on posability, definitely get this guy, because this guy has much better posability than Slapdash. His head is on a ball joint, so it does rotate left and right. It doesn't go up and down too much just due to the sculpt, but oh well. He does have ball jointed shoulders, so you can get them to go in and out. You can make them rotate. They can't rotate 360 just due to these pieces, but still, you do get a lot of motion out of his shoulders. Ball jointed elbows, so you can do pretty much whatever you want with them. No wrist articulation, but that's just due to the wrists being molded in. He does have ball jointed hips. No waist swivel, but I kind of see why they did that just due to the transformation. I still would have liked a waist swivel, but oh well. Like I was saying, ball jointed hips, ball jointed knees. He has an ankle joint, and his heel can be posed for some stability. So you can get some nice poses out of this guy. Not as many as I would like, but still, you can get some pretty nice poses out of this guy, which is cool. Anyway, if I can get him to stand. He can be a little bit tricky to stand at times, which is another complaint. That's really just due to these heel spurs being kind of loose. He really is dependent on those heel spurs to stand, which I think is a bit of a shame, but oh well. Anyway, for a quick size comparison, first off, here he is next to a standard size comparison, or a figure 4 standard size comparison, I should say. Revenge of the Fallen Bumblebee. So you can see, he's about a standard Scout class size, which is nice. And also, just for a Scout menagerie, here he is next to his 2-pack mate, Revenge of the Fallen Slapdash, who again, if you're going to get one of these figures, definitely get Slapdash, but still, I think this guy is really, really neat. But anyway, so there you can see, there he is next to Slapdash. Slapdash can be a little bit finicky at times. There we go. So you can see he's a little bit taller than Slapdash. Not by much, but he is a little bit taller. And also, here he is next to the other 2-pack figures. Revenge of the Fallen Beachcomber, Revenge of the Fallen Spoons. I know that's not his technical name, but that's just always what he's been known to me as, Revenge of the Fallen Spoons. But anyway, so you can see, fairly nice looking little team there. Very, very cool. I definitely highly recommend both 2-packs. So yeah, like I was saying, overall, I think if you're only going to get one, get Slapdash. But this guy's fairly cool. I really, really like him. You'll definitely be seeing a couple of more reviews of this mold on my YouTube channel at some point. I think this mold's really, really awesome. So if you can pick up one version of the mold, I definitely think it would be this guy, because I think this guy is the best looking out of the bunch. But again, that's all just personal preference. He's a really, really awesome mold. I will say that overall. So definitely pick up the mold. And this figure, very, very nice. I really, really like this figure. I give it a thumbs up. I really like it. So there you go, my look at Transformers Revenge of the Fallen Walmart exclusive Scout Class Trenchmouth. Thanks for watching, and please subscribe.